Hey everyone, I'm Alex Fletcher, and welcome to another installment of the Esports IQ podcast series where we provide world-class insights into marketing and advertising in the world of esports, gaming, and what is quickly becoming the metaverse. Now, it's been a while since the last episode, so I'm really excited about today's topic, which is how marketers can win at esports storytelling. The backdrop is that Gucci, the world-renowned fashion brand, and Face It, a competitive video game platform, recently unveiled an esports program called the Gucci Gaming Academy, which is committed to developing digital sport athletes. According to the website, and I quote, "The program is designed to support the development of up-and-coming gaming talent and help accelerate their path to pro, beginning with Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Players will receive full-time mentorship from coaches, mental health support, world-class hardware, and access to many other programs which help enhance in-game performance and well-being," unquote. Now, I love the value Gucci is bringing to esports with this partnership, especially since there's a massive gap in how up-and-coming talent goes pro in most, if not all, esports game titles. So, Gucci's brand presence is immediately relevant. The program launched alongside a YouTube short in the form of a marketing story, which is what I want to focus on today because the short hints at what the esports community can expect from the Gucci Gaming Academy. But more importantly, it illustrates 3 must-haves for effective marketing stories designed for esports fans. The first must-have is to design the story like a puzzle. And the Gucci Gaming Academy story challenges you to make connections and figure out the puzzle. And it does that by letting the audience play with the story in their heads. Now, engaging unconscious emotions is a fantastic way to design a marketing story, but it's hard. You can get the same results and outcomes by also drawing in an audience to commit conscious thought to the storyline, which also helps encode the experience and the brand into memory, which ultimately is the goal of a marketing story. Now, this short does that by encouraging the audience to think through a lot of the Easter eggs in the plot, including things from the Grand Budapest Hotel, but also other Counter-Strike Global Offensive related Easter eggs that we'll talk about a little later. And at the same time, there are multiple layers which allow people who aren't into Counter-Strike Global Offensive to also follow along. And that's really important because it avoids over-targeting where content is only relevant within small niche segments. So you don't want too many hidden meanings that fly over the head of larger audiences. And a lot of sponsor content in esports falls into this trap by doing that, or either because it's just too narrowly relevant. Effective storytelling is a great way to avoid this because stories are, at the end of the day, a universal language. Now, the second must-have is make sure the content shows instead of tells. And anyone who's ever watched a great movie or show can attest to this. In this case, the short isn't long enough to go into character development, but it also doesn't mention esports or gaming, even though it's made for esports fans. And it also has low-key brand exposure. So the brand, or Gucci brand, wasn't plastered all over the place, but it was visible and it was memorable. At the end of the day, this short was a showcase in good storytelling. Happens to be sponsored by Gucci instead of like a 3-minute long Gucci commercial masquerading as a YouTube short. And anyone who watches YouTube like I do can attest to how crappy an experience that is. As a result, Gucci's brand presence comes across as authentic, not fake. And the third must-have is hiding esports influencers in plain sight. Now, the Gucci short doesn't rely on the celebrity status of the influencers who appear in it. Basically, it's not dependent on the story being good because this stars so-and-so. Instead, a number of Gucci brand ambassadors are weaved into the plot as Easter eggs, so if you know who they are, it makes sense, and if you don't, you can still follow along like we said earlier. And doing that is important because esports and gaming influencers have contextual clout. In other words, they're not generally famous like an entertainment celebrity or a traditional sports star, so it's important not to become overly dependent on their presence. Now, I really like this short. I like this move by Gucci. I think it's going to turn out really well. And to recap, the 3 must-haves for effective marketing stories in esports is to, number 1, design the story like a puzzle so that the audience will commit attempting to figure it out. Number 2, make sure the content shows instead of tells. And then number 3, if you're going to employ influencers, hide them in plain sight without becoming overly dependent on them. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I really like putting these together, and I'm going to take some more time to put more out in the future. Thanks for joining me, and have a great day.